Welcome back. Leaders at Tulsa Public Schools with a big decision this week. Elementary students will head back into the classrooms next month, while older students stay put at home until after winter break. Now, we're giving you a better understanding of that decision in this morning's Project Safe Schools. And we are joined live this morning by TPS Superintendent Dr. Deborah Gist. Dr. Gist, good morning. We certainly appreciate you joining us every time a big decision is made on your part.
Good morning, Corey. Happy to be here.
So last night's decision shows that the board's taking a little bit of a different approach with each age group. All along, people on the board and yourself repeatedly just stressing that TPS leaders will send students back when, of course, it is safe to do so. So my question is it safer for younger students to go back?
Well, the Board of Education we've had a commitment to get our students back to school and to be in school in person. And the Board of Education, when they talked about the younger students last week, were really focusing on some research showing that students under the age of about 10 are less likely to be the spreaders of the virus in any environment. And so while the board is very compelled, I believe, what I heard from them was they felt compelled by what we were talking about in terms of the data from other districts, both in the area and around the country. I believe that they felt like it was important to make absolutely sure before we ask our teachers and other employees of those students in those of those older ages to be back in our buildings. They did, however, talk about the importance of us having more in-person experiences for our students, something that we've been calling like Care and Connect hours and things like that. So our middle school, junior high, and high school principals and their teams will really start to expand those opportunities for students in the meantime.
And right now the board is allowing students to come back to class in person after winter break. That was the decision made last night. So will the board reevaluate a return to in-person learning before January 4th based on COVID-19 cases, since it is such a fluid situation?
The board and the team here at the district, we've always remained very open to revisiting these decisions if there is compelling evidence for us to do so. And I'm obsessed with the data, actually, and I know many members of our board watch it as closely as I do. We're reading all the latest research. We are very much on top of this, and if that data or new information tells us something one way or the other, we would absolutely act on that.
And would that be a decision for all grade levels?
Well, the board could make a different decision at any moment. At the same time, I would say that they very much want families to have something that they can rely on. So I don't want to give anyone the impression that this is going to be just changing back and forth or anything like that. Right now, Tulsans should expect our elementary school students to begin transitioning back when our second quarter begins in November, and that'll be our pre-KK. Our first and through third graders will join them, and then the rest of our elementary students will join them on the 30th. So they'll transition before winter break, with our middle school, junior high, and high school students coming back to school in person on January 4th, which is still the second quarter.
You know, this really has kind of been a hot topic, especially to parents who are just struggling to handle home learning right now. So what is some advice you have to those parents who are dealing with these types of issues?
Well, we want to make sure that parents are continuing to let us know when they need help and support. And with the Care and Connect hours that our secondary schools are going to begin, there will be opportunities for students to be at their school in person in small groups, to engage with their classmates and with teachers and other adults in the building for various kinds of support, depending on the school and the plans that they put into place. So to stay tuned, to listen for those communications to come from their school, make sure that the district and the school has their most updated contact information, because right now communication has never been more important.
And just real quickly, for those kids that will be returning in November, advice for parents to keep their kids healthy as they send their kids back into the classrooms.
Well, it's so important that all of us in Tulsa are wearing our masks and washing our hands and watching our distance in every aspect of our lives. If we as Tulsans manage this virus, we can do so much more with our families, with our schools, and we have the ability to bring our numbers down from these very high top of the country areas where we've been. For parents right now, I think we would be so thrilled if they're continuing to have their children wear masks, increase the amount of time that they're wearing that mask so that when they're back in school and wearing it all day, that will not be something they're having to adjust to, along with adjusting to being back in school. We want them to have one thing they're adjusting to at a time.
All right, great advice there. Dr. Giss, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Corey.